everybody, welcome back to Mr. Finn's history class, world history. We are in India. We are talking about Hinduism, a religion that is going to be a polytheistic religion. Now you know what polytheism is now, a religion with many gods. But it's going to be a little bit different. There's not an afterworld or a heaven or how we view things today. The idea in Hinduism is that you will achieve an ultimate understanding and become one with kind of the energy of the world and enlightened people that have reached that. So within India, we were talking about how they had a social order and you were supposed to be acting correctly according to Dharma, if you remember, and it tells you how you're supposed to act. There is another religion that we're going to be talking about today, and it's going to be Buddhism. Buddhism, and actually, I want to make sure I give this to you correct. Make it larger so you can see it. I believe it has an H. I don't think I had an H the first time, which is good. Always make your corrections. So, Buddhism is another religion, and it's going to be based on an individual called Siddhartha Gautama, and he is better known to you as the Buddha, if you have heard of him. The Buddha, Siddhartha, is going to be the person who begins this religion. So let me tell you a little bit about him. It again happens in northern India, around the Himalayas, which we talked about. And you know from your notes are the mountain ranges at the north of India. And that is where he's going to be coming from. Buddhism, this religion, is going to be based on something called the Four Noble Truths, which is important for you to understand because that's what your assignment's going to be about today. So understand that. Let me tell you about Siddhartha. Siddhartha Gautama, he was a member of a ruling family. He was living in the lap of luxury. Everything was fantastic for him. He had money, he had a palace, he ended up having a wife and a child, and things were looking up. This guy had everything that you could dream of, that you would want in the world. And you know how, you know people today who really care about materialistic things. There are some people who must have the new iPhone, some people that must have the new car, the new everything. I want it all. And this is basically what Siddhartha Gautama had. He had anything that he wanted. And so he grows up, and in his late 20s, he finds out something. He is shocked. He is shocked to hear that there is suffering in the world. So outside of his own palace, he goes around and he sees suffering. There was beggars. People had passed away. It was not a good thing. And he's like, wait a second. I thought everybody lived the way that I did. I had no clue that there was this suffering in the world. What is the reason for this suffering? So, Siddhartha begins to meditate. He gives up his worldly possessions, and he becomes enlightened. That's what the Buddha means. It means enlightened one. Enlightened one. And that is the Buddha. He is the enlightened one. He has reached the pinnacle. He understands how to end suffering. That's the goal of Buddhism and Siddhartha Gautama, is to end worldly pain and suffering. How do you do that? He understands in his mind that the pain that people are causing others and have been caused upon themselves is basically all attributed, or you can, if you worry about worldly possessions and stuff and things that you want, that will lead you to a position where you are disappointed, you can be hurt, it will cause you pain at some point because you care so much about worldly possessions. If you give up that idea of wanting stuff and having stuff and needing stuff, you can find enlightenment and you can reach a state of nirvana. Let me write it right here. Nirvana is an enlightened state. So it's basically going to allow you you're not going to be the enlightened one, but you will reach this sense of enlightenment, this understanding of everything. You become one with all the information of the world. You have a clear understanding of everything. You are enlightened, and that is the basic rundown of Siddhartha Gautama. He becomes the Buddha, which again means enlightened one. He starts to spread his message around India. This is, give up these worldly possessions, meditate. You will find that you don't have pain and suffering in your life, and once you can, you have meditated enough on this, you will then reach this state of nirvana, and you will be enlightened, and that is what you're trying to achieve in nirvana in Buddhism. So you have in both religions, Hinduism and in Buddhism, you are trying to reach almost a heightened sense of enlightenment. And again, it's different than how you might look at religion or other religions operate, where, hey, if you do these things in your life today, the end goal is that you go to heaven or you go to the afterworld, paradise, whatever religion, has its afterworld as or names it, that's what you're trying to get to. Whereas in Buddhism and in Hinduism, you're trying to reach a heightened sense of enlightenment or becoming one with this, great energy. So today, what I want you to do is take a look at these Four Noble Truths. The question that you have is, what are the Four Noble Truths? There is how many? 4 of them. So I want you to look up the Four Noble Truths. I want you to tell me what they are, write them down, and then I want you to give me a 3 to 5 sentence reflection. So just your personal thoughts, because this is a form of religion. What are your thoughts on it? Do you agree? Do you disagree? Do you like this? Do you not like that? There's no right or wrong answers. That's why it's a reflection, just to give me kind of an idea of what you personally think about the, again, 4 Noble Truths. And so you can get an idea of what this religion is about, and we can continue moving on. But again, great work. Make sure you're doing your assignment today and get it to me so I can put it in for participation and attendance. Super, super important that you're doing this every day in each class. And I look forward to seeing you next class. Have a good one.